Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Knitting Hobbit Podcast. My name is Rut, I'm a knitter based in the Netherlands and I have things to share because it's been a while. Today is the day of Christmas Eve, so I thought we would get a little bit cozy and put a little fireplace on my TV because I don't have a fireplace and I miss fireplaces. Let's get started. It's been a while. This has had multiple reasons. One, life was a bit of a disaster for a second. We've moved through it and it's all fine again now, but for a minute. And next to that, I was working a lot on a secret test knit. And then the only other project I worked on was my advent calendar project. So I didn't really have anything to share, just the advent shawl, because the other thing I can't share. This didn't really motivate me to film if you don't have anything to share. But the advent shawl is finished. I actually finished it a couple days ago. And I have some other stuff to share because for the past week I've not been feeling very well. So I've been staying at home and it's just been really nice actually. I was feeling shitty, but I got so much knitting time in. And I feel like for me mentally it was really good to have a break from everything. And to not have any obligations whatsoever. Just stay at home, sit on the couch, watch Netflix, watch knitting podcasts, catch up on Critical Role, and do knitting. And nothing else. And that was just really great for a minute, and I feel like I really needed it. And I also have next week off between Christmas and New Year, but I do have stuff planned then, some fun stuff. So it was nice to have just a break from everything. But what I did decide to do is that I really wanted to finish this shawl. So I decided to just say fuck it to the days and just finish it. So I did earlier this week. So this is the Brioche Adventure shawl by, I think his name is Jonathan Tallow. I haven't cut off the ends yet. They're mostly woven in, but I haven't cut them yet, so excuse a little ends hanging out. But this shawl, it is well. So the advent I had was sheep yarns. It's all based on botanical flowers, and I'll just try to show a little overview. So that is the whole thing. It is huge. I'll wrap it around my neck as I talk about it. So the advent was inspired by botanical flowers. So every day was another flower. Which is why there's just so many colors in this scarf, shawl thing. I have had a lot of fun knitting this. So it's called a shawl, but I find it a scarf because it's one straight thing and it's not that deep. But what you do, you start with, let's see, this is the right side. So you start with day 1 as the main color, and then you have day 2 in the back as the contrast color. And then after you do a certain amount of rows, it's a paid pattern, so I'm not gonna tell you in too much detail, but after a certain amount of rows you do some garter rows, and then day 2, that was the contrast color in the first stripe, becomes the main color in the second stripe, and then day 3 becomes the contrast color in the second stripe, which then becomes the main color in the third stripe. So every color except the very first and the very last one are in there for 2 stripes, one as the contrast and then one as the main color. And I think this pattern would be amazing with a fade, because you have it as a contrast color and then it becomes the main with new contrast. I think for a fade that would work absolutely brilliant. But this shawl clearly isn't a fade, and it is very wild, and I absolutely love knitting on it, because that meant I was able to keep up with it for the most part, and it meant that for like every single day I could open a new little advent parcel thingy and knit that stripe, and every day it was a true surprise what the color was going to be, because she did have stickers on the outside of the little parcels for the flower that was the inspiration for that base color, but I never really looked at them because they were on the back, so not on the side where you open it, but on the other side. So I just opened it, looked at the color, and then looked at the flower that was the reference photo. And then I immediately got to like start the new stripe with it and see how it knit up. And that just was so much fun for me. So this was really a process knit for me. I really, really enjoyed that surprise element and something new every single day. But realistically, Lianne, I love it, but I don't know how much I'm gonna wear it because it's a lot. It kind of works when you wear it like this, but yeah, we'll see. It is really nice and really cozy, and like if you get it tight, it will be really warm. I like when I'm cold, I like scarves to be quite like up against my neck. I feel like that gives more warmth, and like that is just ultimate coziness. So with a big jacket, it would definitely work on cold days. But yeah, so what else do I have to say about this? Oh, I have a lot of leftovers left. Did I leave them down here? I can't remember where I left them. 1 second, I will grab the leftover. So in here I have all of the scraps. This is the MCAL bag that the MCAL didn't fit in, which I was a bit salty about if you remember that episode. But it is great for all these mini skein scraps. So this is a merino nylon sock yarn. So I can make, let me see if I can show you without all falling out. I can make some pretty decent scrappy socks with these. They will be so much fun. Yeah, there's just, let me see, there's so many colors in here, like all the colors that are in the scarf. And I think it will be really a lot of fun to knit up some scrappy socks from these and have some socks that I definitely will wear because I wear crazy socks all the time to kind of go with this scarf. And what I still have untouched from the Advent is the very last day, the last and the second to last day. So the second to last day, I already opened because that was a mini skein, and it was for this, and it was a bright red. And I decided that would go on this end, like after this stripe, the bright red would have come in as a contrast color. So I decided that was a bit much. I'm not the biggest fan of red. This is actually really warm. I'm not the biggest fan of red. And the very last day, on the 25th, there is a 100 gram skein. So I don't know the color of that, but the thought I'm having is that I will use the mini skein, the red mini skein, as a contrast color for socks with the 100 gram skein. So yeah, but only if the red goes with that color, because if it's like one of these colors in the middle and it's just pinks and purples, then it will look a bit odd. But if it has some red in there, that will be really nice. We'll see. That's still a surprise to me. So yeah, that was my Advent shawl. Had a lot of fun with it. Highly recommend it. It did take up all of my knitting time throughout December because I could just about knit one stripe every day, and then when I finished the stripe I was pretty tired and ready to go to bed, and it was like nearly my usual bedtime. So I would usually just have like half an hour before I went to bed, and sometimes I immediately went to bed. So that was all of my knitting time throughout most of December. And then I had the secret test knit, so that is why I didn't film, because that would be very boring. But I have another finished object that I kind of forgot about because it's been a while. I forgot that I didn't share this. So I'm trying to remember. I think I already cast this on during the last episode, but I don't know how far I was. So this was a test knit for Fable Knitwear. It is called the Bella Jumper, and I knit it also in sheep yarn, so the same as the Advent dyer. In sheep yarns, Merino DK in the colorway Lost Sunray, I believe it's called. And I think it's just so gorgeous. The color is absolutely amazing. Like, that's pretty spot on. It's not very blown out. It's like a really vibrant but tonal orangey browny fox kind of color, and I really, really do love it. The only thing is that this garment is a 0 to negative ease garment, and for me, I think my gauge was a bit small because I should have been dead on the size with my bust measurement. So I think my gauge was a little small because it's tight, it fits, but it definitely has negative ease, not 0. And I am not really used to wearing jumpers like that. If you've been here for a while, you know I love a good oversized boxy jumper like the one I'm wearing now, which was totally forgot to mention, by the way, but this was gifted to me. This is the Ursa sweater from Jacqueline Sea Slack. Very comfy, very nice. And I don't know what the yarn is. A merino something. I think it's from Drops, but I'm not sure. But yeah, back to the Bella sweater. Yeah, so I haven't worn it much. The only thing I've worn it with, because it is quite cropped, is a skirt. And I don't have many jeans that go up like quite as high. I have one pair, but my waist is very, how would you say that? Like squishy? That sounds kind of weird. But if you take a belt and you put it around my waist, you can really like pull my waist in, but then the fat just redistributes above and under it. So it will be like, whoop. Nice description. I feel like with most things, so usually if I have jeans or a skirt that kind of make like my fat like bulge over it because my waist is so squishy, I have a loose jumper on top of it, so you don't notice that. But with this I can't, because it's like it's negative ease. So it's kind of hard to find something that is high enough waist and tight enough that this will kind of like stay in it, because if I do this, otherwise it will just go everywhere. But that doesn't make my like little bit of fat like bulge over. So yeah, it's not like I'm super insecure about my body, but I just don't think that's a nice look. So usually I just hide it with a slightly loose fitting garment on top of it. So yeah, I want to wear this more. Maybe I should do some like ab training, pick up yoga again or something, and then I can wear this more. I was thinking of maybe wearing it for Christmas, because I find it a little bit Christmassy. It's like a little bit festive. It's nice looking, and we don't really do fancy Christmases at my in my family. You just dress a little bit nicer than usually. So I might just wear this and see if I have a skirt that will go with it. And the other option I have is that I have a kilt. And that one looks really nice with something black on top of it. This won't go with it, but something black. So either the kilt with something black or this. But we also have 2 Christmas days in the Netherlands, so I can also do both. What is Boxing Day in the UK is second Christmas Day here. So we get 2 really nice dinners. Let me see. Oh, then I have a whip. Now this whip, so I wasn't well this week and I was just knitting. And I finished the brioche shawl scarf thing. And then I really wanted to just have a quick project because I still have to finish that secret test knit. It's mostly done. I could say it's a sweater because that's like minimum info. And it's mostly done. I just need to finish the body. It's like nearly halfway, I think, throughout the length that I need. But it's a textured thing and it's going pretty slow. And I just, after the textured brioche, I just wanted a break from anything textured. And I just wanted to knit and I wanted it to be quick and nice and, you know, just have a quick palette cleanser. And most people, when they do a palette cleanser, they do like socks or a hat or, you know, a simple quick accessory. I do a jumper. So, oh, there's some straw in here. This is my palette cleanser. This is the Wild Posy jumper by Melody Hoffman. And I am knitting this in such nice yarn. So a little while ago, if you remember, Edna gifted me quite a bit of yarn and they also gave me a really nice coupon code that I could use myself. So what I bought from that was this. Oh, I'll grab a skein, just a second. I'm so prepared. But I got this yarn. Just because this sounded really, really interesting to me. It's a completely new to me base, blend, combination of yarn. It doesn't sound that odd because it is 70% merino with 30% mohair. But what makes it interesting and really, really nice, and something I've always wanted, is that it's a tweed yarn from Donegal Yarns. So it is like Donegal tweed, and they've always been a little bit pricey and I never got it. But this rum is from Yarbo Select, #1 mohair tweed yarn from Donegal, and it is 50 grams, is 110 meters. And it is a little bit pricey because 50 grams is 10 euros about. So 100 grams will be about 20 euros. So that is a similar price to hand-dyed yarn, which I personally find quite pricey. But with this coupon code I had, it was really, really nice and I couldn't leave it alone. So this is the colorway Coal Miner. And it also says somewhere on here. So yeah, it's 70% merino wool, 30% mohair, made in Ireland by Donegal Yarns. And it also has the Donegal Yarn logo on there. And it's this like very dark grey with white speckled yarn. And it feels really interesting. So it doesn't have a halo, which like mohair silk would have. But it feels quite interesting. It has kind of a rustic feel, but also something soft. But I also feel like there might still be some like spinning oil or something like that in there. And I'm really, really curious to see, because I'm a bad knitter and I do never wash my gauge swatch. My gauge swatch is I cast on like a couple more stitches than the amount I need for the swatch. And then I knit a couple rows and I measure, and then I rip it out and I start the garment. So I never wash them. So I'm really curious to see if this yarn, if it will bloom and like get a halo with time and with washing, just like Hillesvag Tinde. That yarn really blooms up really nicely with time and with wear, and it gets a really nice halo, but it doesn't, if I remember correctly, it doesn't well knit it up. And I'm wondering if this will do the same thing or if it will stay like this. I mean, even if it stays like this, I'm really happy with it because I've tried this on and it's really nice and really warm. So yeah, the only thing is it's a little bit thick and thin, and add the tweeds to that, and the texture isn't very clear at all. So the Wild Posy has two versions. It has one with some lace detailing at the very top and the very bottom of the textured yoke, and one without. I decided to go halfway. So you can't see it because I haven't blocked it yet. It will probably open up when I have blocked it. Maybe you can see it. I don't know. But I have done it at the top and I haven't at the bottom because I was looking at the pictures and that lace gets really low to like over here. And I thought I want it to be nice and warm, and I'm fine with it being up high. But here I would just want like not holes in my fabric. So I have done the lace at the top, but not at the bottom. So I just ended the texture after the little slip stitch cables that you do, that you can't really see. Yeah. So this absolutely flew off my needles. Believe it or not, I cast this on Thursday. It is now Saturday. That is how fast this has been going. And that is why this is my palette cleanse, because it's absolutely flying off my needles. So I've made a couple changes. So first I cast on the amount of stitches that the pattern said. And then I knit for the rolled neckline. But then for some reason I skipped the ribbing that was after it, and then I just moved on to increasing and starting the texture. And then I was trying it on, and the neckline was quite wide. Not too wide, like I could definitely wear it, but I just felt like because the jumper is quite warm, my neck was a bit cold. So after I finished the body and the sleeve, I picked up the stitches for the neckline, undid it, and just knit it back up because I don't mind going in a different direction. No one will notice. Like, can you notice even that this part is going down and the ribbing is going up instead of knit down? So what I did is I picked up all the stitches and I decreased a couple, I think like between 5 and 10 stitches. And then I knit for all the ribbing. I did a twisted rib, half twisted rib, and then I did the rolled neckline, and I did that rolling on all of the cuffs. So it's also on the sleeve and on the bottom of the jumper, because I like all of the hems to be like the same style. Sometimes there's a jumper where this is twisted rib, but then this is normal rib, and then, you know, everything is just a little bit different, and I don't like that. I like it to all be at least a little bit similar. Like if the neckline can be double, but then I think that the cuffs and the bottom hem should have a sewn bind off so it looks like it's double, you know? That's how I roll. So I did the rolled things at all of them. And for the sleeves, in the pattern, I believe there are decreases along the sleeve to have more of a fitted sleeve. I just decreased a little bit here, and then I knit straight to have a little bit of a balloony sleeve. And then I decreased quite a lot here and did the ribbing. So I think I went down to 30 stitches for the ribbing because I have pretty small waists and I want it to fit not tight but like snugly. And yeah, this turned out perfect for me. The sun is coming through. I hope that the lighting won't go too weird. Yeah, really happy with this. Will finish this today. I don't know why this one got so weird. Because I knit this morning before filming, and it is now nearly 11 o'clock. So yeah, I will finish this today, give it a good soak, and see what it does. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think this will be a nice staple for my wardrobe that I will be wearing a lot, because it's very light. I'm only using max 300 grams. There's about 250 grams in here right now, and I still need to finish the sleeve, so between 250 and 300 grams of yarn. The only thing is that I got much more yarn. So I have 4 more untouched skeins, so that's 200 grams of yarn. So I'm trying to decide if I can squish out another jumper. Maybe take this pattern but just do it plain and simple. No texture, no rolled things. Maybe that, and otherwise I think I want to make a matching hat and mittens or gloves or fingerless mitts, something for my hands, something matching. But yeah, I'm still trying to decide on that. I think just a very plain and simple jumper would also be really nice. Maybe I would use a raglan pattern to have it be a bit more different than this, because otherwise it will be very similar, as the texture kind of is a bit hidden in this yarn. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Those are all the whips I have to share with you at the moment. I have one acquisition, and that is because it was Black Friday. And a friend messaged me, Amanda, if you're watching this, you know it's you. She was like, oh, do you want to order something at Holst with Black Friday? Because she was ordering, and she lives nearby, so I could just order with her and then pick it up at her house. And I was like, no, I'm broke. I don't want to order anything. But yeah, we kept talking, and I had a look at the website, and then I saw this color, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. I think if I hold it close, it will blow out. Yeah, that's better. Still not very accurate. It's a very like deep green, and it has some like dark gray bits in there, and it is so gorgeous. And I have so many ideas for this, and I can't settle on anything. I still want to knit the Ingrid sweater from Petite Knit, and that might just go in this color. I think that would be really pretty. But I'll have to see. I haven't made a decision yet. So that is one very quick acquisition that I wanted to share, because it is gorgeous yarn. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I'm looking around to see if I forgot anything. I don't think I have. So that was everything. I hope you have a nice holidays, whatever you celebrate. Yeah, I will see you next time. Bye bye.